Good evening, Draftaholics, and welcome to Draft Punks. I'm Sam.
And I'm Adrian, and this is your pre-release and draft guide for The Brothers' War. Magic is going back in time to the first great cataclysmic war to ravage Dominaria, The Brothers' War.
The Brothers' War tells the story of the two greatest assholes to ever live, Urza and Mishra, who decided to have a competition of who could build the biggest, angriest robots and be the first to destroy the whole goddamn plane.
The great news is that it was all awesome, with giant mechs and explosions and absolutely no sad stuff whatsoever.
Well, there was that bit about Takesha.
No sadness, only robots!
And aren't you forgetting that whole bit where Urza detonated his Silex and destroyed...
Robots!
Okay, well, seeing as Adrian is obsessed with the robots, it's likely that some of you are too. So if you're ready to don your giant mech suit and tear your opponents limb from limb at your local pre-release or draft, you'll want to know how the cards work.
Robots! In your quest to make the biggest, baddest robot around, you can't go straight to the finished product. No. You're going to need to make some prototypes.
Prototype is a new mechanic on those 9 and 10 drop giant robots that lets you play them for a cheaper, colored cost so that you can get a smaller version sooner.
For example, Rust-Goliath is a 10 mana 10/10 with reach and trample at common, but if you pay for it with its prototype cost, it is a 5 mana 3/5 still with reach and trample, and it will have those stats and that mana cost until it leaves the battlefield.
And here's the good news. In Brothers War Limited, you are actually going to be casting your full-sized giant robots. How?
Unlimited power! Stones. Yep. Power stones. They're what make the big robots go, and if you want your big robots to go, you're going to need some.
Power Stones are a new type of artifact token that will come in tapped and can tap for 1 mana that can't be spent on non-artifact spells. That means you can use them to pay for giant robots or on any activated ability.
This set is packed to the gills with Power Stone tokens, basically stapled for free onto otherwise good cards with plenty of giant robots! And expensive activated abilities that you can sink them into. If you want our opinion, it's that Power Stones look very powerful. Contrary to popular opinion, this mechanic does not just mean the opposite of Earth.
No, Unearth is actually that metalcore band from the early 2000s that gave us giant robot music.
Okay, Sam, stop. Unearth is a returning mechanic that is basically flashback for creatures and artifacts, allowing you to bring them back to the battlefield with haste for one more turn before they go to the big scrapyard in the sky, the exile zone.
Most of the Unearthed creatures give you a nice bit of value when they enter, leave, or attack. For example, Scrapyard Rager gives you a card when you cast it or unearth it, and Scrapwork Cohort gives you a free 1/1.
Meld is probably not going to show up in Limited, as it requires a pair of cards, one mythic and the other rare.
But if you do manage to meld together Urza, Planeswalker, Mishra, Lost to Phyrexia, or Titania, Gaia Incarnate, you are contractually obliged to send us a photo so we can add you to the Limited Hall of Fame.
Blue White is all about soldiers. That's right. We've got cards that make lots of soldiers. We've got cards that make soldiers fly. Cards that pump up your soldiers. And of course, a soldier lord. That's right. It's soldiers, soldiers, soldiers. Get them quick. They're running out the door.
Blue-Black is a control deck that rewards you for drawing multiple cards per turn. It's been a while since...
Wait. I get to play control, and they pay me for drawing cards.
Yes, Sam.
That's like getting paid to eat ice cream.
That's right. Yeah, cards like Evangel Synthesis, Latinam Adept, and Trench Stalker all get better if you draw multiple cards per turn. Just like ice cream.
So that means you want to keep an eye out for cards that let you draw an extra card every turn. So look out for cards like Take Flight or Thraxodemon in your pre-release pools.
Black Red is a sacrifice-based aggro archetype where you will be delighted to be sacrificing your creatures and artifacts for fun and for profit.
Your dual color uncommon is Junkyard Genius, who will be giving you a Power Stone just for showing up, and then maybe sacking it or something else later to give your entire team +1/+0 menace and haste.
And then when that gets boring, it won't, play some cards like Thraxodemon, Transmigrant Altar, and Conscripted Infantry to sacrifice more stuff for more fun and more profit.
Red-green is all about cards.
Yeah, even Wizards didn't know what this archetype was about, so they put 3 random abilities on the signpost uncommon Arbalest Engineers.
So maybe it's Stompy with Obstinate Baloth, now at uncommon baby, and Falaji Chain Dancer.
Or maybe it's about Power Stones and giant robot dragons with Argothian Opportunist and Falaji Dragon Engine.
Look, nobody really knows.
Yeah, don't ask us. We're just the draft bunks. Go ask Mark Rosewater or something.
Green-white is Artifact Aggro, headlined by Adrian's favorite card of the set, Yoshin Dissident.
Oh, yes, baby! Hook it straight into my veins. I want to be playing mass production to get 4 triggers on my Dissident, my Phalanx Vanguard, and my Perimeter Patrol.
And the value doesn't stop there. Once those artifacts are on the battlefield, you can animate them into 4/4s with Alloy Animist, or use them to cast Warlord's Elite for cheapsies.
You best remember when recycling day is this week, because if you're playing white-black, you're going to be putting your cards
in the bin.
But whoops, you got the day wrong. So you're going to be taking those cards back out of the
Bin.
and putting them back onto the battlefield. That's right, your color pair is all about reanimation.
Hero of the Dunes is going to be the Hero of the Proletariat, as it reanimates a mana value 3 or less creature when it enters the battlefield, and then pumps them all up.
Then cards like Airlift Chaplain, Recommission, and No One Left Behind are going to fill your graveyard and bring back the little guys. And maybe even sometimes the big guys.
For Black-Green in the Brothers' War, Wizards has done something they have never done before in the history of Magic. Wait, what's that? Oh, sorry. Some breaking news has just come through. That's not true.
Okay, so Green-Black is all about graveyard matters. I know, groundbreaking. With Skyfisher Spider acting as a bone splinters on 8 legs and hinting at some sacrifice and graveyard value synergies.
Once you've got plenty of meat in the meat grinder, your Gixian Skullflayer will be growing every turn, and your Battlefield Butcher will cost nothing to drain your opponent of life.
And don't forget to pack your self-mill. Blanchwood Prowler and Burrowing Razormaw both allow you to circumvent the battlefield altogether and get your graveyard synergies online without feeding the War Machine.
If you're playing blue-green, your battlefield is going to be more stoned than the love child of Snoop Dogg and Joe Rogan.
You will be using your Power Stones to ramp straight into your own personal Pacific Rim spin-off series and smash your opponent's face clean off.
Your blue-green uncommon is Battery Bearer, which lets your creatures cosplay as Power Stones and then draw cards when you use them to power out some giant robots like Rust Goliath and Hulking Metamorph.
But that's just the beginning. You'll have Power Stones popping out of your Falaji Excavation, Argothian Opportunist, Stern Lesson, and many more.
So blue-red is normally about spells matter, so this time around Wizards has done something totally radical.
That's right, in the Brothers' War, blue-red is about spells and artifacts better. Ooh.
So, all you young Pyromancer fans out there, check this out. Third Path Iconoclast gives you a 1/1 artifact creature token with every non-creature spell you cast, including artifacts. So if you pair the Iconoclast with your Artifacts Matters cards, you are getting 2 artifacts to play with for the price of 1.
You'll also be hyped to see that Prowess is back to be buffed by all your non-creature artifacts, with cards like Wing Commando and the returning Monastery Swiftspear.
And you can also use all those artifacts just hanging around to be animated with Mightstone's animation or to reduce the cost on machine over matter.
While your opponents are busy casting stupid, fancy spells or making silly little power stones, you, as a red-white player, are going to be putting creatures onto the battlefield, and lots of them.
Falaji Vanguard is your reward for pumping out tokens by giving anything +2/+0 every time a creature hits the board.
But don't stop there, make even more tokens with cards like Mishra's Onslaught, Scrapwork Cohort, and everyone's favorite token maker, yeah, you guessed it, Mass Production. So now that you have been armed with all the information you'll ever need to become a giant robot yourself, go out and shoot some lasers from your hands or something.
Well, no, Adrian, they're not actually becoming the robots, they're casting the
Robots!
Anyway, come and join us draft the new set right here on the channel, with the first video of the new set dropping the day it releases.
And as always, if you want our videos dropped directly into your eye holes, you're going to have to find out what they call a werewolf on YouTube.
It's a like and subscribe. The Brothers' War tells the story of the two greatest assholes to ever live.
Good hell.
The Brothers' War tells the story of the two
Jesus Christ. We got Jimmy Fallon over here. I didn't know. Blue White is all about soldiers. That's right. We've got me. We got soldiers up my ass. I've got a colon filled with soldiers. Okay.